In my conversations with families, this question has been coming up lately. And the question is, how do I support my loved one with a developmental disability to have a meaningful day during these COVID times? And this question was coming up back in, April when COVID was first hitting, but I see this question and I hear this question coming up again and again and more frequently now that there's this second wave of COVID impacting many areas and regions across the globe right now, and with the change in seasons, right? Many areas across the world going into winter, and that's changing people's lives. It's changing also the opportunities that might exist for folks. So I thought it'd be important to have a conversation with you around this question of a meaningful day during COVID times. And there's a bunch of things that I could talk about here, but I really want to focus in on one today. And this one has been, families that I work with in the Plan My Future coaching program and in Empowering Ability Club have found this insight that I'm going to share with you today really helpful. I think the community opportunities can be challenging and take quite a bit to figure out, and maybe accessing some support to figure out. But there's really this more immediate opportunity that we have that we can work on with our loved one and support our loved one with. And that's really thinking about how can we help our loved one to increase or grow their independence. And a lot of that can be done right in our home. So if we ask ourselves, how can our loved one help out at home? I want you to think about what might come to mind for you, right? Because when we think about independence, it's a lot of those things in terms of, being a bit more self-reliant at home, whether that's things like doing the laundry, or maybe some self-care things, or making a meal, or just helping out around the house. And what are those kind of day-to-day things that need to be done around home? I want us to put our attention there. And we can kind of get stuck in our habits and our routines and the daily rhythm of how things go in our home. So to give you a different perspective, a different vantage point on thinking about how could our loved one help out at home? How could they play more of a contributing adult role, as one of my mentors, Janet Cleese, would say, right? So how can our loved one be a contributing adult at home? Well, here's this different frame, different perspective for you to think about this. What if you thought of everyone living together at home as roommates, right? So, I think we get stuck in maybe a parent and, adult child role or other roles in our homes. So just thinking about, okay, what if everybody was a roommate, right? And why is that different? Well, roommates are contributing hopefully somewhat equally, right, to their home. One person might be taking out the trash, another person might be cleaning, another person might be making meals, or they're collaborating on those things and taking ownership. So what if we thought about our family in this way? What if we thought about that our loved one as a roommate, and what are some things that they can do to contribute? Right? So I mentioned a couple of those things, but think about it from this lens, this context, and work with your loved one to maybe have a conversation around this, to think through what are some potential opportunities at home, and find a win-win. Which one of them is your loved one most interested in? And start there, right? Work with your loved one. Don't maybe work against, if you're feeling some resistance, where's the path of least resistance? Find that win-win, and give your loved one the opportunity to try that thing at home, whether it's the laundry, or supporting to make a meal, or helping to clean or vacuum, or maybe doing some stuff outside, whatever that is. And make sure that your loved one's supported, right? So give them support to move forward with it. So if this is something that you're interested in continuing to work on, there's this guide that I created called the Ultimate Guide to Independence. And there's 5 kind of key principles inside of this guide that will help you make progress down this path of growing your loved ones' independence and self-reliance. So you can get that at empoweringability.org/independence. And I'll put a link below the video here where you can get your free copy of that. It's a short PDF, which you can read through pretty quickly. But there's really some helpful tips and principles in there that'll help you move forward. So let me know if you found this topic helpful, or maybe you've already been working on helping your loved one to build more of a contributing adult role at home. Let me know in the comments around what's been working or what wins you've had on this while during these COVID times that we're living. And if you found this topic helpful, also let me know, because I'm thinking about doing a little mini series on this, on creating maybe a series of videos for you and to continue this conversation around creating a meaningful day during COVID times for people that experience a developmental disability. So let me know in the comments. Let me know what questions you might have. Thanks for watching. I'm Eric Gall. Together, let's take a step forward.